Welcome to the Biz Builders podcast, where we believe building the business of your dreams can change your life. I'm your host, Sandy Patterson, former teacher turned certified life and business coach. After 14 years of teaching, I took a huge leap, left my job, and built 2 successful businesses with no business or sales background. Now I'm living the life of my dreams, and I'm ready to help you do the same. You're in the right spot here if you're ready to dig into not only the strategy of business building, but also the belief in yourself that building a business is possible. You're made for this, and you've got exactly what it takes to create the financial, time, and location freedom you're craving. Over here, we value progress over perfection. We embrace being uncomfortable, and we believe that anything, literally anything you want, is possible for you with the right strategy, mindset, and support. You'll also hear inspiring stories here and, of course, failures of women who are doing the same thing. The whole idea is if she can do it, so can I. Thanks for being here. Let's dive in. Hello, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast. I'm so excited because we are here today with Traci Everett, who is an ADHD life coach, and she specializes in helping women with ADHD. Welcome, Traci.
Thanks so much. I'm really excited to be here, Sandy.
I'm so excited to have you here too. And Traci and I actually connected because we are both former teachers, right, Traci?
Yes, that is very true.
I love connecting with teachers. Teachers are my favorite people on the planet. So, Traci, before we dive in this afternoon, I have some fun questions for you just to kind of allow people to know you a little bit. Are you cool with that?
Okay,
let's do it.
Yes.
So, first question is, where are you located and what is the weather like there right now?
I'm on Long Island in New York, Port Jefferson Station to be specific, and it is a gorgeous day here. It's like mid-70s and sunny and just a light breeze. It is a fabulous day here.
So after we record, you have to go get outside and enjoy that sunshine. Okay, Traci, what is something that most people don't know about you?
I am originally from small town Texas. And I mean, some people know that, but not, I mean, like it's not self-evident, I guess, at this point.
What brought you out to New York?
My husband was born and raised in the Bronx, but we've tried a little bit of everything. We've done Chicago and Minnesota and Atlanta and Manhattan and San Francisco. So a little bit of everything.
Cool. I have only lived in one spot my entire life.
I'm intrigued by that. Like, I get that, but yeah, that's just not been my journey. So I appreciate that there is value to that.
But I'm intrigued with the movement too. Like, I thought that's really, really cool to.
Right. I think there's value to both, right? I mean.
Okay, next question. Do you prefer cats or dogs?
Dogs.
We were just talking about dogs.
Yeah. I mean, I like cats just fine. I have nothing against cats, but yeah, no, I'm a dog person.
Okay, last question. Don't think too hard about this. If you could eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh my. Strange answer. Tamales, actually. I'm from small town Texas, and like that's just my go-to favorite whenever I go to a Tex-Mex restaurant. So yeah, we'll go with that.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing. So why don't you share a little bit about you, Traci, and what you do?
So I am an ADHD life coach, and I work I work with all different kinds of people. I think the fact that I've discovered I most likely have ADHD, it kind of gives me permission to do more than one thing. Like, I know as coaches, we're supposed to like niche down and do only one thing, but I will always have a place in my heart for students and families of students who have ADHD. And I mean, I have some ADHD students that I started working with before I left the classroom, and some that I've picked up along the way. And like, I just don't see myself giving that up because it is so important to me. I believe that schools can do so much better for students who have all kinds of challenges, learning challenges. And so I'll probably always work with some students. But I really have discovered how much I love working with adults and specifically women to help them. I mean, so many of us as women have big goals and dreams and hopes for ourselves, and then life happens. And especially if you have ADHD and you just get stuck and you don't get to where you want to go.
Yeah.
And so being able to coach women, which is such a beautiful thing because it's not me telling anyone what to do. It's them discovering for themselves the things that they can do to accomplish their dreams. And it's so powerful. And that's what I really am working to build right now.
I love that so much. And I think that the ADHD thing, like I even have quite a few clients right now and friends even recently that are women that have recently been diagnosed as adults with ADHD. I feel like it's coming up a lot. Like that's
Right.
a hot topic right now.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
It
think
is.
that people are really going to be interested to listen to this episode and just hear. And when you and I were talking too, initially when we first connected, and as teachers too, like we understand what it's like to, have a group of 30, kids all staring up at you and to understand how to differentiate, right? Like one kid might need something, but another kid might need something. And as we were talking, I was like, well, wait a second, Traci,
Yes.
like what you're saying, what you're describing, like the things that we do or that the strategies that you use with your clients that consider themselves ADHD or that have been diagnosed with ADHD or have, these things going on, they work for anyone. Like these strategies work for anyone, regardless. And so that's why I was
Right. Exactly. And if on the other hand, you as a teacher or people who are in the classroom still, if they try to teach to the kids who don't have ADHD, you are for sure missing those ADHD kids. But the opposite is not true. And that's what, as adults, we get caught up in, well, I should just be able to do this thing. I should be able to do just like my friend does or my sister does or whatever. And that's just not true.
So I'm excited to talk about this too, and we're going to just lay it all out here. I'm curious okay, so you had mentioned before, you said it's just a really beautiful thing. It's a really powerful thing to be able to help women who have these really big dreams, but they feel like they're stuck. What is it that they're stuck with? Or what do you find that a lot of times people are stuck with?
The big word that comes to mind when you ask that question is procrastination. And it's such, women tend to put off doing those big things, those hopes and dreams and goals that they have for themselves because they get caught in the minutia of they have to put dinner on the table and they have to, get the kids to the places where they need to be and all of these other things that come up in life. And it's just my husband and me and our dogs now. And still it's hard to get those things done, because we put them off. It's like, well, I'll do that when I have a little more time. I'll do that, whatever. And then
So
we just never get to it.
What are we procrastinating on here? What is it that we procrastinate on?
It can be, I have one client I've been working with for quite a while now, and she's just so delightful. And one of the first things that we did, she just kept being like, she has all these things she wants to do, but the dining room table is a mess. And it's like, we can't get to the good stuff because the dining room table is a mess. It's just the catch-all space. And so we spent some time after we've been working together for a little while, and we spent a whole session together just cleaning off the dining room table. Literally, she put her camera so she could, and she talked through kind of all this stuff and how she was going to keep it organized and clean. And that was, I don't know, a year ago or so, maybe a little more. And she's still really proud of that because now the dining room table is clean and she's been able to move on and do those bigger things that she wanted to do, which is, it seems a little bit silly, but that was so powerful to her.
To me at all. And it's funny because I actually had a client too that I worked with, and she brought kind of a similar thing up. She was like, okay, I have this business time from, let's just say from 8 to 9 a.m. and I get my kids out the door, I get
Yeah.
them to school, and then 8 a.m. hits, and I know that it's time to work my business. But I cannot start working my business until everything in my house is
Right.
like in its place. And
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Like, I don't want to say
Yeah.
anybody's name, but I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I do the same thing. Like, I thought that was just a me thing. Like,
Right.
and I'm not diagnosed with ADHD.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like, I don't know, who knows?
Yeah.
But I think for me, we had this big discussion about like, it's this need for control, like to control everything.
Oh, yeah.
Everything
Yeah,
needs to be
for
in
sure.
place. And so
Yeah.
that's an
Yeah.
interesting, I don't do that anymore. Now
Yes.
I'm like, well,
Yeah.
whatever, like the house.
Hey, that's good. Yeah. Well, and again, there's value to that. That's a good, I mean, to be able to manage those two things, to hold those both in your head. It is okay for things to be not perfectly clean, and I can go ahead and do this work. I can clean up
Yeah.
later. Like it's still
And
okay.
that takes
Like,
some training in
and
your
yeah,
brain, I think.
it
I
does. It
just, I,
does. Yeah. Especially, having been a professional, like in the world of work where you leave before 8 o'clock too, and it took me a while to be like, oh, I can actually not just clean up all day long, like because it's not, it's
yeah,
never
it's
done,
never done.
so to be able to stop and again, even if you don't have kids at home and stuff, like it's still there's always more
Yes,
that can be done, so to stop and actually build your business and do the work that you need to
it
do,
is
that's
huge. And I
huge.
think that we also too oftentimes get caught in the productive procrastination, right? So it's like, I gotta go do the laundry. I gotta go,
Yes, yes,
clean the bathroom. Those things need to
yes.
get done. And we avoid this. Yeah.
They do. And that is, and so then I do a lot of work with my clients to help them decide why, to think about why are you doing this? I mean, yes, having a clean toilet is great, but at the end of the day, like you're putting off this other work. And a lot of times what we find is there's something else under that. It's work that either they find, if maybe it's boring work, some of this other stuff. Maybe it's work that's really hard and they don't know if they're going to be able to do it. Maybe it's work that, they're feeling intimidated about, or they don't even know where to start. So to be able to figure out what, again, that procrastination.
Yes.
Why are you procrastinating
There's
this
always
thing?
something deeper. Okay, so Tracy, can you explain
Yeah.
to me? And I don't know a whole lot about ADHD, so I am not the expert here, so I'm going to lean into you for this. What is the difference between someone's, like how someone operates in someone's brain with ADHD and without?
It is my understanding from years of experience with people who have diagnosed ADHD and also from just lots and lots of research. So we all have a tendency to procrastinate, right? We all might be late every now and again, or we all, we forget things, whatever. Like everybody does that sometimes. But when these kinds of problems, this executive
Mm-hmm.
functioning, is a continual battle in your life, that's when it's time to think about maybe this is bigger than just I sometimes forget
Mm-hmm.
things or I sometimes
Mm-hmm.
get caught or whatever. And it's like it's not just, yeah, anyway, yes, that's the answer to the question, I think, is when it becomes an issue on a regular
Yeah,
basis in
yeah.
your
And I
life.
think what you tapped into too is this idea of like there's so many things that I want to do. I think I hear this often from friends and family members that have been diagnosed with ADHD. Like I have all of these things that I want to do, but I just cannot follow through. Like I have these huge plans at the beginning of the day
Right,
and I'm going to do all of these things and it's going to all get accomplished and then
right,
it doesn't. And then what ends up happening is like we feel bad about ourselves. Like I feel really bad and I'm
right,
feeling guilty.
right. And if that happens one day, then it's like, okay, well, today wasn't a great day, but tomorrow's going to be better. And then you get up tomorrow and you have, a similar list of things you're going to accomplish. And once again, you get stuck somewhere along the way. And then when that happens over and over again, and like in the case of my dear friend whose dining room table needed to be cleaned, like it had gone on for years, like
Yeah.
literally years, where she just couldn't figure out how to
Yeah.
get things done. And so putting into place, let's just start stop with the list that's 3 pages long, because that's not helpful to you. Fine if you want to have that list, but like
Oh my
tuck it
God.
away, because it's not going to guide your day. And that's what she was stuck in that. She wanted to get all of these
Mhm.
things done. And then, that's not helpful
Yeah,
to your psyche, because it's so defeating. Like,
it's
that's
unrealistic. And I
unrealistic,
always,
right? But let's pick 2 things to do and just do those 2 things and call it a win, and then celebrate the wins. And that's one of the things that I've found with all of my clients, is when you do accomplish a thing, to stop and appreciate it and acknowledge, I did this thing. Okay, it wasn't a huge thing. I didn't move the mountain, but I did move
yes.
something. I did accomplish a thing, and that's good. And
Yeah,
write it
and I
down,
think that
check it
we
off.
think too, we put so much pressure on ourselves to like it needs to be like fireworks and skywriting and this mountain has been
Yeah,
moved today when really it's just the one foot after the next
right,
that we're
right.
celebrating. I totally agree with that. And then same thing with the
Absolutely,
list, I really
absolutely.
resonate with
Yeah.
that. Anytime my clients come to me and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I just feel so bad that like I can't get everything done." I'm like, "Okay, show me your list." And then they pull it out and I go, "I don't even want to see your list. I just want you to tell me like if would you ever hand your list to your best friend and expect her to do all those things today?" And every time they're like, "Oh, no." I'm like, "Well, why would you
Oh,
think you could
no. No,
get
but we
that?"
hold ourselves to that standard, right? And it's the same way about, and kind of a continuation of that, the way we
Mm-hmm.
talk to ourselves. So we have this ridiculous monster list, and we can't possibly get through it all. And every single day, at the end of the day or throughout the day, you're saying, oh my gosh, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
terrible person because I'm not doing
Right.
all this stuff. And you would not hand that list to your best friend and say, here, do all of these things today. And you would not talk to your best friend the way that you talk to yourself. And both of
Yes.
those things are so huge. So being able to help my clients to understand, first, set more realistic expectations for
Mm-hmm.
yourself. And then 2, tell yourself a different story,
Yes.
reframe that, and celebrate the little
Mm-hmm.
wins instead of looking at all of the things you haven't
Absolutely.
done.
You mentioned something in the beginning when we first started talking. You said, it seems so simple. Like, just do it. Like, let's take the dining room table, for example. Like, that seems like a simple task. And it's not like your client that you were speaking of, it's not like she couldn't actually figure out how to clean the dining room table. Like, she knew how to do it. The task was simple.
Right.
So, why is it not simple for someone with ADHD?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So it's not simple because while it is uncomplicated, it comes with obstacles. And it might be, I mean, there's a whole list of reasons what it could be, right? I mean, it could be, well, this is, if I just leave everything here, then I can find it quickly when I'm ready to head out the door. That
Mm-hmm.
might be part of it. For her, that was actually part of it, is like, if I put things away, I have to stop and look for them. It's like, well, okay, let's find a different place that's away, that's not on the dining room table, you know. Um, but like, solving those little problems that seem simple almost always have a larger underlying cause. And yes, simple to clean off the table, not simple to have the mindset of, I can get this task done. Doing so will allow me then to do the next step, the next task on my list.
Interesting. That's interesting because I think too, like what I hear you saying is that it's really comes back to our belief system and like what we believe. And it's not often that we stop and like take time, I think, to like think about like
Oh,
why do I operate like this? What are the patterns that I see in my everyday life or
yeah,
in my thoughts? Because life goes so fast. Like we're constantly in motion. There's so much input coming in all the time. It's just busy, 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 go, go, go,
all the time.
that we very, very rarely stop to like think about, oh, like there is an underlying reasoning to the way that I'm behaving, the way that I'm
Right,
thinking or feeling
right,
or acting or the results that I'm getting even.
right. And all of that busyness, if we don't
Mm-hmm.
take a moment to figure out, why am I doing all of these things? Why am I running all around to, you know, to do all of these things? Is there value to each and every one of them? could I rethink my busy schedule? And we put so much value in our society on that busyness, and it's such a detriment to us all.
Yeah, I
Like,
totally agree.
there's just, it's better if we are less busy and more intentional about the way we spend our time and our energy.
I totally agree. Okay, so what are your favorite strategies that you use with your clients to get those big goals accomplished, Tracy?
So those big goals. So timers are really, really helpful to the extent that they don't get overused. I was working with someone a couple days ago, and it's like, I've started just setting timers for everything, and now I
Oh
just
yeah.
ignore them. It's like, no, we can't. That we got to find a happy medium there. But to set timers and reminders for what you need to accomplish. I'm like, here's a cool thing I have figured out. Like, emptying the dishwasher was one of those tasks that I just didn't love and I would avoid it. It's like, oh gosh, there's clean dishes in the dishwasher. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to
Yeah.
stack up the. Like, here's the thing. Try it sometime. It can. I have never been able to actually spend more than 5 minutes unloading the dishwasher. Like, even like, it's a very quick task, but I would make it be this big thing. Oh my gosh, I got to unload the dishwasher. It's like, just stop, just do this thing, and like, time yourself. Like, how long is it going to take you really to do this little task? And other tasks are the same way. It's like, why am I
Like you're almost
fighting
like
this so
tricking
hard?
yourself to be like, how fast? And it reminds me that
Yes.
that would be like a classroom hack that I would use. I use it for my kids at home. I'm like, let me see who can brush their teeth. Like, who's gonna go eat?
Yeah. Exactly. And do it for yourself. Yeah, make it, and gamifying anything is such a great hack for people who have ADHD, especially. I mean, it's like, just make it a
Yeah,
game.
I
Like,
love that. I love that
um,
idea.
oh,
Um,
but probably one of my favorite things is body doubling, and it needs a better name. It really does. But basically, I mean, I have my best friend and I are both former teachers, and we met in the ADHD coaching training that we went to. And she lives in California, I live in New York, and very often, at least a couple times a week, we get online and we're just like, okay, we got to knock some stuff out. What's your list? What are you going to work on right now? We'll set a timer for 25, 30 minutes, and we'll both work and then kind of check in and take a little break and then come back and do it again. And we get so much done. In fact, I have a free, right now it's down to just a few people, but as the school year begins to ramp up, I would think, it's probably going to pick up again. I offer a free 2 hour body doubling session for my clients and former clients and friends and whoever else wants to join. And it's such a funny thing because you wouldn't think that it would matter,
yes.
you know, but it makes such a difference because it's time that you set aside. This 2 hours is when I'm going to get some stuff done, and somebody else is there. Like, they're not watching you. They don't care if you're working or not.
We'll do those co-working sessions with friends of mine too, and it's incredible what you do. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
amazing. Like, yeah, nobody, you're not
it
like sitting
really
there
is. Yeah.
watching or like doing like.
No, nobody cares if you're working or not, but somehow it
Yes. Okay.
matters,
So Tracy,
you
let
know?
me ask you. So building a business is quite a feat, right? Like you got to do a lot of things. There's things that need to get done. There's specific strategic things that need to get done, actions
Yeah,
that need to be taken in order to keep moving the needle forward. So
right.
what would you recommend somebody who is building a business and also has ADHD? So they're feeling like, you can't get this done.
All right. So this has been like, it's my own personal experience, right? For 50 years, every day I would get up and go to school and then do all of the things, and the bell would ring and I would move from here to there, and I knew what to do, right? And then I was like, oh, I have this great idea. I'm going to coach full time and I'm going to run my own. And that was really cool. And then all of a sudden, there were no bells to ring to tell me I should eat lunch. Not that I ever got to actually eat lunch as a teacher, but like, there wasn't even, yeah, I mean, at least it was in the schedule. Um, but like there was no more structure. So that's when I discovered, oh, maybe I actually do have some ADHD, because
Because what
that was
do you mind
it
sharing?
was such
Yeah,
a
do you mind
shift.
sharing like what that looked like for
Yeah.
you? So is it just that you didn't have a like nobody was telling you what to do? There was no schedule, there were no eyes on you. So did you just like what happened? What
Right.
did that?
Right. Nobody was holding me accountable. I mean, I had all these things that
Yeah. Yeah.
a long list, right? A long list of all the things I
Yeah.
needed to do. But then, the dogs wanted to go for a
Mm-hmm.
walk, or there was the table to clean off, all the things, right? All of the things that need to be done. And I didn't have to do
Yeah.
anything. There was nothing like urgent. And so I had to really train myself that to set aside time on my calendar. Like I had to put a schedule in place for myself. And I have CEO hours. And I start off with them kind of blocked randomly. And then every week I look at how the week is playing out and I'll adjust those. I love Google Calendar for that, right? You can just fix them, make them longer, shorter, move them around. So that's been really helpful to set aside time in my day when I know I'm going to do some of the things from
Yes.
my list that are pertaining to work. So
Yeah.
that's been huge. Um, so that was and see, now I've lost my train of thought.
No,
That's
I do it
also
all the time. I
um,
do it all.
so learning to make a schedule for yourself and to actually stick with it, that's been huge. And then also to build a community, so to have the structure and the community. And for me, it's been kind of three prongs. And this is I'm building my program based on these three things. I need coaching. I need someone to coach me through even thinking about, what do I need to do for my business? How do I, because I didn't know how to do this thing. Like I knew how to coach. I'm a really good coach, but I didn't know how to run a business. So getting coaching around the things that I don't know, whatever that is. And then building a community so that I know I'm not alone in this thing. That's been huge. And then having the structure and figuring out how I can hold myself accountable, and make the plans, have a list of all the things that need to be done. And that's, you got to have both the list and the plan for when you're going to do the list.
Yes.
So that's, when other women are also working, and that's what we're working
Yes.
on, is trying to put all three of those things in place. What do you not know and you need coaching around? How can you support other people and also be supported
Yeah.
by people? And then how can you structure your own life and business so that you're getting things done?
I almost picture like in the classroom like a schedule, but like for business, right?
Yes.
Like at 9 o'clock
Yes.
we're doing this.
Yes.
10 o'clock is recess time. Go walk the dog.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And you know what? That recess time, that's so important. And that was one of the things, like to put in time for whatever you want to call it, leisure,
Yeah.
relaxation, self-care,
Yeah.
whatever, that did not come naturally to me and to many of my
Isn't
clients.
that interesting too? And I'm just thinking about teaching. I keep going back to teaching, and how like, I'm making like these 5-year-olds like stretch 2.5 hours before giving them a break. I'm like, I couldn't even do that. Like, come on, what are we doing here, you guys? What is
Right.
happening? Yeah.
Right. Right.
Um, Oh, I was going
Exactly.
to ask you something and then I forgot. But thank you for sharing your story too about building your business and what you found really important to you. Um, oh, I remember what the question was. So it was about the time blocking. So time blocking, and I don't know why. Like, why do we think that? Like we have the list, right? Like you just talked about, you have the list, and then you also
Yeah.
need to have like,
Yeah.
where am I going to put like dedicate time to each thing? And I think what that
Got to
does,
plug
yeah,
things in.
like
Yeah.
when we time audit ourselves too, it's like, where is our time actually going? Like, what am I actually doing? Because I get to the end of the day and I haven't accomplished anything on my list, but I'm really tired and I know I was doing stuff and I was really
Right.
busy.
Yeah. I know I was
Yeah,
busy
but
all
like, I don't
day.
know what
Yeah.
I did and I didn't do anything here. So now, I think it's tricky
Yeah.
and also what the time blocking does too is it eliminates the need to multitask, right? Because when we don't know where things are going, we're
Right.
like,
right,
I'll just fit it in these little like pockets of time, which is really, really frustrating. And you really don't get a lot done
right.
moving that way.
It's not effective. It is not an effective use of your time, and it's not an effective way to get
Yeah.
those important
Yeah.
tasks that need to be done. Like you're shortchanging your
Yeah.
business and yourself. And I was reading a little bit about, I was actually doing a little training about ADHD coaching yesterday, and one of the things that the presenter talked about was that the only kind of multitasking that can work is when I'm gonna change the language a little bit, but when we pair a mindless kind of task, something that's just physical, maybe folding the
Mm-hmm.
laundry or whatever, and then you can put something, the mind, you can pair
Mm-hmm.
those things up, a physical and something that
Yeah.
you're thinking, but like even that, you're shortchanging yourself. Like it's still not the very best use
Yes.
of your
Yes.
time. It's like multitasking is such a lie. And I mean, we're so guilty
But
of
it
it in
goes
our
back to
culture.
like the more, do more. So it's like if I can do four things at once,
Oh,
then
yeah,
I'll have,
yeah,
like, it never works. It never works.
yeah. We can do four things at once and they're all going to be
Right. And
done badly.
I think of like teaching too. In during a teaching day, like there is not a moment when you are not
Oh my gosh.
juggling literally 20
No,
different things all at once. And
never. Mm-mm.
it's overwhelming and it's exhausting.
It is
So
absolutely
it's cool
overwhelming
in
and
business that
exhausting.
we get to decide like, okay, I'm going to do things differently now. Like I don't
Right.
need to do 100 things all at once. I can do one
Yeah.
thing at a time. I can celebrate
No.
myself and then I can,
Yes. And I can do it well and then I can move on to the
yes, and I
next
can
thing.
feel
Yeah.
proud of myself for
Yeah.
accomplishing this one little
Right.
thing at the end of the day.
Right.
And the little things, I always tell my clients, I'm like, the little
Yes.
things stack up to be the big things. Like it is
Absolutely. Yeah. Almost all big things are just a whole series
little
of
things
little
over time.
things.
Yep. Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful conversation. Thank you so much for sharing all of your insight here. Why don't you share
Absolutely.
a little bit about where we can find you and what you work with clients one to one, I believe, right? So tell us a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, so I do one-on-one coaching for sure, and I will be launching a group coaching program that will really focus on those three aspects
Mm-hmm.
of community structure and coaching in October. But both are available,
Yeah.
and you can find out about all of those things and more on my website, which is
Perfect. And I'll
realfocusLifeCoaching.net.
put all of that stuff in the show notes so people can click and find you. Any
Yeah,
resources that
yeah.
you love for someone with ADHD or even somebody that doesn't have ADHD that's just wants to do a little
Yeah. I want to share a
please?
book. It's not my book, but I just received a book well, I'm going to share two things actually. So I love Jessica
Okay.
McCabe. She has a YouTube channel by the same name. It's called How to
Uh-huh.
ADHD. And you can watch her videos. And she's been out there for quite a long time. And the book is just published this year. And it literally just came today. And I've already read it, but I just got my own copy of it, and I'm really excited to kind of dive in and look at some of those things. And one of the things that I love in her book is that she talks at the end about the
Mm-hmm.
gifts that we bring, and like remembering that our ADHD brains, or for like they are really special and they have so much to offer. And when we don't allow ourselves to work through those challenges, we're not only losing out ourselves, but we're
Mm-hmm.
robbing the world of what we have to offer, which I think is just
Yes. Yes.
beautiful. Like that's
Yes.
so important. Um, the other thing I just want to like point another kind of thing I'll promote is thinking about time in a slightly
Yes.
different way. And we usually just use, our the time that's
Mm-hmm.
digital. And when you just use an analog
Mm-hmm.
clock
Mm-hmm.
instead, you can watch this one doesn't
Yes.
have batteries in it yet, but like I have one right over there on my wall above and like you can see the time
Right.
passing, And there's something that's very visual about that, that's different. Like our brain processes it differently than when I just look at the time on my, my phone. It says 3:39. Well, that means something different than watching the second hand move and watching that minute hand move. And that's a really, it's been very powerful for a whole lot of my clients and for me.
Cool. Yes, I love that. Thank you
So,
for that
yeah.
little tip. Well, thank you so much, Traci, for taking time out of your day to be here. This is so helpful. I learned a ton, and I know that there's a lot of things that people can go and implement now, whether they have ADHD or not, that are going to help.
Absolutely.
Help
Absolutely.
them reach those big goals, right? Because that's what it's all about, and that's
Yeah,
really what.
exactly. You have stuff to accomplish, and yeah, don't let any of those excuses get in the way. Like you go and do the thing that you were designed to do, that only you can do.
And there's
So, yeah.
support. We're here. I know.
Absolutely.
I'm always like, reach out if you need anything. I'm here. I love connecting. That's been the best part of doing this podcast, is connecting with people. So,
yeah,
Traci, thank you again so much, and I will talk to you very soon. Thanks for listening, you guys. If you're ready to get your business going and making money and to step into that next level version of you, I would love to support you make that happen through strategy, mindset work, and my Cut the BS style coaching, because it's always better, quicker, and more fun to have someone who's already been through it support you. Shoot me a message over on Instagram with the word ready, and we can chat and get your questions answered about coaching and how I can support you. I cannot wait to hear from you.